As I keep emphasizing, friends, your first wealth is health, so safeguard it. It's time to focus on your health during this scorching summer, preparing your body to avoid heat strokes. I have with me Dr. Manodip Acharrya from Aster Clinic and Hospital to share some tips. Today we're talking about something extremely important in this weather, and that's heat stroke. What is heat stroke all about?
Actually, it's a stroke. It's called heat stroke. It's not related with a neurological stroke, but somehow when it develops when our body is exposed to a very hot weather, and when the body temperature exceeds 104 degree Fahrenheit or the 40 degrees Celsius due to the exposure of high temperature or humidity or due to excessive strenuous physical activity. So all this leads to the accumulation of temperature inside the body, and that causes this heat stroke. So it's a medical emergency.
What are the symptoms?
It starts with heat cramps. There is involuntary contraction of the muscles of the body. Then it leads to heat exhaustion. When the patient becomes very tachycardia, means heart rate is very high, excessive sweating, lethargic, nausea, vomiting tendency, and then it leads to heat stroke if it is not medically intervened within time. It's a medical emergency.
Right.
So it should be treated by a physician as soon as the diagnosis is confirmed. There are certain few tests which we can do, but basically it's a clinical diagnosis. So the first and foremost thing is you have to undress the patient, because there are a lot of clothing patient might be wearing, so that hampers the radiation of the heat.
Correct.
So the patient needs to be undressed first. Excessive cooling by any means, whatever the traditional ways also we know for the cooling. Then sometimes what happens when you are lowering the temperature, there is shivering. So shivering increases the body temperature as well, so we have to take care of that.
Okay, so it shouldn't reach that level.
It shouldn't reach that level. And dehydration should be corrected as early as possible, because I told it it's a medical emergency, because if it is not intervened in time, it can lead to permanent damage of vital organs of our body, like say brain, heart, muscles.
So heat stroke can get extremely intense and serious.
Yeah, that's why it is the terminal end of a heat-related illness. Starts with heat cramps. Normally patient don't bother about it. Then heat exhaustion, then heat stroke. If it is not intervened on proper time, it can lead to casualty.
Great information you shared with my viewers. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.